am doing my persuasive speech. My topic is the truth about pets. Let me introduce you to my audience. Welton the cameraman, Brandon, Will, Sabrina, Kelly, and Carly. Also, I would like to introduce to you America's most hated dog. Please meet Junior. Junior is a full-blooded pit. Let's give you Junior's story. Junior was abandoned on the side of the highway. He was found chasing cars, starved, obviously again abandoned, in bad health. Within 3 weeks of tender, loving care, he was brought back. He has a solid structure now. And he's just the best dog anybody has ever met. Now I'm going to go let Junior play.
Come on, Junior.
Go.
Junior.
Now let's go back to using our imaginations for a second. Imagine me and Junior are walking down on the side of the road. You and your spouse, as well as your kids, are walking towards us. Once you notice that I am walking a pit, Junior, what's going to be your first reaction? Are you going to move across the other side of the street to avoid the interaction? Or are you going to be saying, hey, it's a dog. He's leashed. He'll be all right. What's your reaction going to be? In a case study based on pet owners and their dogs, they wanted to know, as a survey, what were the reactions of the general population. One story, similar to that of our using imaginations, was a man was walking his pit down the road. Up ahead, he saw a nice young couple with their kids. Well, their kids were practically playing in the road. Once him and his pit approached, the couple steadily pushed the kids out of the way just so they could not interact with the dog. Now let's take a step back. What would you really do? They could have met the dog, but instead they pushed him to the side, but they were just playing in traffic. It just doesn't equal out. So let's take a little history lesson. A pit bull originated from the UK whenever it was the product of an Old English bulldog and a terrier. Between this, of course, you got the pit bull. But the pit bull has 4 different classifications and names. Since it originated in the Staffordshire, UK area, there's the Staffordshire Bull Terrier, the American Staffordshire Terrier, and American Pit Bull Terrier, and American Bully. All of which are indeed within the same pedigree group. Of course, with different physical features. Another little fact is that in some places in the UK, the pit bull, or American pit, whichever one you want to call it, was used as the nanny dog. Parents entrusted their dogs around their kids because they have this nurturing demeanor towards them. We have a toddler here in the yard, and Junior's not acting aggressive. Something's not adding up, apparently, to social media, or media in general. Quite a few of our historical figures that are well known owned a pit for companions, like both President Woodrow Wilson, President Theodore Roosevelt, Helen Keller, Thomas Edison, Humphrey Bogart. The list goes on. Pits were also used as a symbol for today's armed forces. They were on posters, just showing that true American spirit. That integrity, their strength, all of which we'll get to more qualities later. But another little thing, from the 1800s to well into until 1970, pits were based as the family-oriented dog. Every family had to have one. But with the rise of pits and underground, illegal dog fights, 1980s, that destroyed the reputation. So their image went down. So now let's talk about what society views as the pit. I'm going to say, if not knowing a pit, listening to the news, reading the newspapers, magazines, I'm sitting here picturing an aggressive beast. The bulky, just evil, something that's going to rip your head off. But that's not what they are. In an article, in a Time magazine article titled Abuse No More, more than 500 dogs were rescued from an underground illegal dog fighting bust. The majority of those dogs were American Pit Bulls. Dog fighters use this breed particularly because of what social media has portrayed them to be. Again, the demonic beast. Their strength, their powerfulness. Okay, but any other dog can be the same. So let's compare just not only a pit, but all dogs together. And the dog fighter or owner himself. Any dog that is mistreated, abused, neglected, the common myth or fact, fed raw red meat, put on a logging chain, it's not going to be the best animal ever. It's going to be aggressive. If you show it the aggression, it's going to portray that. Not just in pits, any dog. It can be a lab or a chow. Any dog can show those traits. So it's not the dog's fault. Well, let me back this up. If you, as a human, were put on a chain, neglected, abused, would you be angry? I know I would. I'd want to tear your head off. But I'm not a dog. That's just my point. Another article by Time states that any dog kept in a yard with no other human or animal contact, now hence I said any other dog, any dog that is kept that way will show aggression. Not just a pit, a dog. Any dogs. I'm going to read off another article based on breed differences in canine aggression. These facts, y'all, are so wonderfully wow. Dachshund, English Springer Spaniel, Golden Retriever, Labrador Retriever, Poodle, Rottweiler, Shetland Sheepdog, all ranked similarly for aggression directed towards strangers, dogs, and their owners. Yeah, I didn't hear a pit in any of that. But let me continue. Some breeds also scored higher than average for aggression directed toward both humans and dogs, which are Chihuahuas and Dachshunds. So these little ankle biters we have run around are more prone to bite you than Junior. See, Junior's not showing aggression. I mean, really? Let's see, let's continue. Other breeds scored high only for specific targets. Dog-directed aggression among Akitas and Pit Bull Terriers. Yeah, that's not really helping the case. But in defense of the pit, he is territorial. He is going to protect what is his. It's the alpha males. So if another dog were to come up right here, knowing Junior, he just want to play with them. But, all dogs are going to act the way they're territorial. Let me continue again. Breeds with the greatest percentage of dogs exhibiting serious aggression regarding dog bite, bites, bite attempts, attacks, any of the four, towards humans included Dachshunds, Chihuahuas, Jack Russell Terriers, as well as towards strangers and their owners, were Australian cattle dogs, towards strangers, American Cocker Spaniels and Beagles are more likely to attack their own owner. So I don't feel safe owning a Beagle. So again, let's continue some more. In the social media, you have references of pit attacks A pit attacked this, a pit attacked that. Excuse me, folks. Sorry. Pit attack, pit attack, pit attack, pit attack. A pit bull attacks a child. A pit bull attacks a human. You do not sit here and read about dog attacks, other breed. It's just pit bulls. Now, I've been attacked by another dog. I didn't sit here and proclaim it to the media like, oh my God, this dog bit me. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's just pits. But with another survey conducted in Abuse No More, they asked local vets, shelter workers, and anybody who has a profession to do with dogs. They asked to identify the dominant breeds within 30 images. They didn't score so well. They all named them as pit or pit references. A pit mix, anything that showed a pit feature, which none of them were. So tell me, why is the pit being picked on?
Mommy.
I can't tell you that one. So let me get a little bit more personal since Junior wants to come back and go. I've never met a pit until I was the age of 16. My first reaction, I will admit, I was scared. But since I was 16, I have had 7 pits, full-blooded, ranging from red nose, blue. I've had a pit, and I've loved every single one of them. None of them showed aggression towards me, my child, my husband, a stranger that came up, or towards other dogs. 7. Of course, there's more pits out in the world, but for me having 7 pits, and none of them show any feature that's portrayed in the media, well, I think the media's got it all wrong. In another case study, like the one previously about pit owners, the majority of the pit owners were single females. They wanted the pit, or they adopted pits, not just for the image that they're portrayed as, bees, but for protection. They want protection. I know that whenever my husband went out of town to work, I did have a pit. His name was Copper. I didn't feel safe in the house by myself unless my dog was there. As you can tell, folks, I live out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know what is round and about in these woods. I want my dog for protection. Now, to talk a little bit more on the best side of a pit, they have several qualities that people actually need to look at. 1, they are highly intelligent dogs. You tell them to do something, they're going to learn it quickly. They do have strength. We all know this. In a book that I read based on how to raise an American Pit Bull, it showed a picture of a dog, of a pit particularly, climbing a tree. I have never seen any other dog climb a tree, but a pit can. Believe that one or not. A pit also has a sense of humor. They know how to make you laugh. They know when to make you feel better about yourself. If you haven't seen Junior already running around the place, pits are extremely energetic. They have a high amount of energy. They are lovable. They are loyal. They are affectionate.